Welcome to Startup Knockout. I'm your host, Timo Higgs. Augmented reality is blowing up in the B2B space, especially here in Germany. And today we've got a conversation with Dr. Björn Schwerdtfeger from AR Experts. He's going to let us in on all the things that we need to know so that we can better understand this fast-growing space. Björn, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Hello, Timo. Welcome. Thank you for your time. Thanks for the interview. I'm really looking forward to your interesting questions.
And I'm looking forward to questioning. So, is about a little bit of the history of AR Experts. So you've been around since 2016. You've been getting lots of really good traction, but it's never a smooth road, is it? So I'm kind of interested. Take us through the last 7 years broadly and give us an idea of some of the failures and successes you've had.
That's an interesting question. So I was actually thinking about, I started augmented reality 20 years ago. So the whole story of augmented reality wasn't 50 years ago. And for a lot of things, all those nice visions, all the videos you have seen, we are not there yet. With some stuff, we are there yet. There are a lot of usable things now. But this big vision where we're having all the glasses did not fully arrive. So when we started 2016, everybody was like, hey, there are coming so many glasses. We will have augmented reality. Next year, everyone is using augmented reality instead of smartphones. Yeah, we got rid of the smartphones. Next year, everyone has those nice glasses. Obviously, it didn't happen. Yeah, not yet. Basically, like everyone else, we were believing that glasses will be the next big thing. We were a little bit skeptical, but we thought, okay, so many people are making glasses. We will do these technological leaps quite soon. But we are not there yet. 366 glasses popped up at the market since then. 366. Wow. You have not seen so many of them on the street, right?
No, none.
So one of the biggest learning is it's quite hard with the glasses. One part is the technical part, but the other part is like the user adoption. So how do you bring the huge, wonderful business cases for AR glasses, for augmented reality? But with 95% of the glasses, you're not going there because it's too complex. People are having fun with smartphones. That's where we are now. So we started with all the glasses, went to smart glasses, now we had smartphones. Coming back to glasses later. But this was probably the biggest challenge we had, like everyone at the market.
I like this topic. I'm very interested in your thoughts on why Google Glass didn't work, because this was going to be huge, and they had this massive marketing campaign. They had the coolest video advertising that you could ever imagine, that this was going to be the future, like we see in futuristic movies. And then it died. It died a very quick death.
It actually didn't die quickly. It died quick. It did die quickly from the consumer perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. And it started with like the main feature of the Google Glass was you can take a picture. And this is why it was spotted as a glass. People who were wearing this glass were named like glass holes. Because also the main case of it was, you can take a picture of someone. Someone doesn't see that you're taking a picture. And it was still looking a little bit stupid. Google Glass switched over to the B2B market. So you need to see, like 2015, when the HoloLens came to the market, everybody was like, hey, every consumer will wear augmented reality glasses. They came mainly from America and from China. But then there was this German community. There's this, I call this the German-Austrian axis of augmented reality. Germany started quite early, and most of the things you see now, you see with Apple, you see with Snap, you see with HoloLens. There are people involved who have been in this German-Austrian axis of AR. A little bit UK, also some big talent there. Most of the stuff was coming from this.
That's right. These are companies, the DACH region.
Companies, students, mainly people who discovered it at the university, then went to companies, and those companies were acquired, or people are still working on this. So now, traditionally, Germany and Austria are more to the B2B market, and America is more to the B2C market. So what happened during this time, also with Google Glass, was it converted to become a B2B tool. So Google Glass died as consumer product, and then it turned over to become a B2B tool. I don't know whether you remember how those glasses were looking like. They were like a stone, a glass stone in front of your
Big
eyes.
thing right there. Yeah.
And it was quite hard to see. There was like, you need to do a lot of adjustment. And there was only 1 millimeter where you could see something.
Yeah.
It's like when you breathed, you couldn't see anything anymore on the glasses.
Okay.
So it took 10 years until until Google took it off the market, basically.
So this is really interesting. So Google Glass didn't die. It just kind of went out of view and focused on the B2B market. And this is being driven forward by German and Austrian companies, you're saying?
Basically, they spread all over the world, and there are also good talents in Australia, Japan, and US, UK. But bringing all this augmented reality stuff to the B2B market, this was mainly driven by this European access, basically.
How close do you think we are to that making the jump back to consumer markets then? Is there anybody, like, are there any real companies with real resources working on this sort of thing? Or is this still kind of a side project and it's going to remain B2B for the foreseeable future?
So a lot of American companies gave up. There are a few good old ones remaining. Even Microsoft went rather to the B2B or to the army markets. Apple is probably also focusing at the beginning to B2B clients. A lot of Chinese companies are now working on making it a consumer product. But if you look, we did some market research and checking what did all the people say about glasses, the makers of the glasses, the CEOs of the companies, of Meta, of Magic Leap, of Unreal, etc. pp. And they're saying those glasses are typically coming 2030 until they are really nice from the usability point of view, from the Ray-Ban, until you have Ray-Ban style glasses. That will take a lot of time, basically. However, that's for the consumer market. In the B2B market, we already have a lot of people who are working kind of on a daily basis, not 8 hours, but for a few hours with those glasses, basically.
Yeah, so the form factor is going to be really important moving forward. I want to come back to this, I really do. But first, I want to give people a little understanding of your involvement with this, with AR experts and your product. So with the GIRI app, I've seen a couple of use cases already, things like industrial instructions, training workers. I've seen one where they were teaching you how to charge an electric car, which I thought was kind of cool. But I'm interested in kind of your favorites. What are some of the use cases that you see that you think are really interesting that you want people to know about?
So we are typically dealing or acting in this area of production or of after sales. So you're having complex machines, complex processes, or even not so complex machines, not so complex processes, but someone needs to do something. And in the industry, you need to know what you need to do. So you need to have a process description of it, and someone needs to understand it. So this is called, you need to train those workers, and you don't find a lot of workers. This is called a worker skills gap or Fachkräftemangel, right? So, but if you get good tutorials, you can do any kind of job. So let's assume you have got an industrial education, so you can use a screwdriver and you're used to work on that machine. We help people to be able to work on another machine, on another one, and on another one, and a good quality. So our main use cases are currently is production, training production for machines, for processes, security trainings, but also in after sales for the maintenance jobs. So field service technicians are quite happy about our solutions. And we always had a focus because we knew that augmented reality can be complex. Even someone needs to make augmented reality and all the content. Like you see, we are recording a video. It's a lot of time recording a video. So it's even more time to make augmented reality. And we always had the focus to making it easy, that everyone can make augmented reality. That's basically what we did. So for production, for service, and now we're getting a lot of requests from facility management, from how to operate a building, security, how to make a building secure, how to train people on those things. From gastro, what's the English word for gastro? For hotel and
gastronomy, restaurants, hotels,
gastronomy, restaurants, etc. Yeah? Basic things are starting with a coffee maker. Yeah, how to operate a coffee maker. So let me tell you, I was like, we just changed offices. This is a good illustration of what's happening. So I'm quite a coffee nerd. Yeah, I know I'm having coffee machines and I'm operating a lot of coffee machines. I'm looking for the right coffee, etc. I know all the things of what you need to do with coffee. So we came to a new office space and was like, I have this machine, you put it on it, you press 2 for 2 cups in your Siebträger. I was like doing something, okay, something I'm doing wrong. So there was a video tutorial for this whole coffee making process, which was like 15 minutes video tutorial. It was like, yeah, it's a 15-minute video tutorial.
Yeah, that feels long nowadays.
Exactly, and you're not watching it. And I asked the people who did record it, and was like, yeah, it took a lot of time to record the video. Typical situation in the industry, yeah. You try it, you don't read the manual, then you watch the video, you don't watch the video, and at the end someone comes and does a one-on-one introduction to you how to use those things. Yeah. This is where we ourselves with GIRI are moving. That's like we basically have people to record really fastly work instructions, which is not a 15-minute video.
So this is saving people a lot of time. And yeah, you're right. Making videos is not an easy thing, as I found out when I started this podcast. So time are we talking here that you are saving companies? So instead of going the traditional route and having a paper manual or trying to do a YouTube video and putting that up there, and then having a person actually come over and then teach the person, getting all of that out of the way, how does your app, how much time can you typically save a company?
So typically, if you're recording a video of a process, let it be like 20 steps. To do all those things, if you do the proper calculation, someone needs to record, you need to do it, then you go and cut it, then you realize, I didn't take that scene, I need to go back, I go again, I cut it, I need to make an update. Typically, you need 2 people for 2 days. So let's say it's only 1 day, 2 people. But you need the time to do a good recording, storybook, until all the stuff is done, basically. And that's typically companies are calculating something like 1,300 to 3,000 euros for recording 1 video of work instructions. Or this morning I had a call with a car maker and they're like, yeah, we would like to try out those 3 workplaces for the assembly of something. And I was like, yeah, how many days do we need for it? I was like, yeah, you typically count when you're writing it down, you take a lot of time. And we move this over that you only need half an hour. So typically it's like a kind of 15 minutes, but if you need to think, you also need to think about your process, how you want to structure it. But documentation takes 5 to 15 minutes typically.
And this has become significantly easier than recently.
Exactly, and you need to focus on this. We realized we need to focus on it. We always develop all the stuff we are doing in a way that it's easy to do, which is harder than we thought. Yeah, because people are used to have good usability from the big things, from Meta, from LinkedIn, from YouTube. It's a lot of work to make things easy.
Yeah, simplifying something complex is always more difficult than most people understand. It's kind of an image of how people are doing this. So, like if I'm a worker and I've got an okay from my boss to take one of our processes and put it into your AR app, am I just doing this with my cell phone?
So it's basically you need to download an app, and then because it's an enterprise solution, either you work on our servers or then it's data storage, is it on your servers? That's a one-time setup. Then you go there. You need to think a little bit about your process. You got a quick introduction how to make a good tutorial, how to make a good work instruction from us, how to structure yourself a little bit. And then you typically get out your phone and you can scan in your environment, and then you can place arrows, symbols, any kind of symbols in augmented reality. You record all your steps. And at the end, you press, for example, you press publish, and then it's getting published. For example, there's a QR code, there's a web link inside the app, and then you're done. If you want to do an update, you just get out your phone again. You change the one picture, or the one video, the one arrow. You publish it again with all the versioning stuff, and then you're done. And that's the main focus where we're on. It needs to go fast because no one comes in the morning in the factory and says, hey, today I'm gonna write a work instruction. No one. Yeah. So
comes out of necessity.
So we need to put some fun into it. People need to have fun documenting things, basically. We are putting fun into making this work instruction, but actually people need this work instruction to be more flexible. Yeah. You want to bring workers in, and they should be able to work in the highest quality, in the highest standards. and they need to be able to qualify themselves for those tasks. And we could measure this with a big car maker in Germany, that paper versus augmented reality, do 62.3% less mistakes. And this is quite a lot, right? It's really quite a lot. People are doing way less mistakes, they're having more fun doing it. And you got the forwarder, the boss, you got them out of the game. Because typically, this person was explaining all the stuff to their people again and again. And now you simply record it with a rep, you publish it, and then people can qualify themselves.
Can people already use this to get certified on something?
Yeah, that's a funny point. Because it's like, particularly in Germany or also in the US, where we're having most of our clients currently, people need to have something, a written document. So we developed something I refused to develop for 2 years, because everybody was asking, can we have a way to print the augmented reality-based work instruction on paper? So we developed something where you basically can print augmented reality on paper.
Oh boy.
For your as an SLP staff for your certification, basically. At the end, I'm honest, this will be mainly for the user certification, not for the people, but you need to provide it. So you record once, you get a PDF out of it, but you also get the nice work instruction, which you can play on your smartphone, on your glasses, etc.
Yeah, that feels like like very traditional bureaucracy of, okay, we've made this great technology, now let's put it on paper.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you cannot say no if so many people ask, hey, can we also print it? Yeah, okay, you can also print it.
Yeah, your customers have needs, and those needs might unfortunately still be situated in the 20th century. How many of your customers are actually using glasses as a form factor when they're looking at the instructions? Is just about everybody using their phone when they're doing this, or are the glasses actually being used now?
So our idea was that everyone is using glasses. Our first implementation have been on AR glasses. Everybody was like, that's so cool. The biggest problem with glasses is, they are not charged, they're not in my Wi-Fi. How was my password? How do I operate those glasses? We were also like, we had the idea that if you record the work instruction, you need to be able to do it by yourself. And this only works if you're having the glasses on your head. And then you speak with your glasses and they're recording things. So, what some people were asking for smartphones. So we went there and we developed it for glasses and for smartphones, and then we gave it to people who were like well educated with glasses and was like, hey, go for it, just record work instruction. And what was happening? They were like taking the smartphone. Like, why the hell do you use a smartphone? You can be hands-free with the glasses for the recording process. It's like, yeah, you know what? It's so much more easy with a smartphone than with the glasses. Yeah, but you need to be 2 people. Yeah, but it's quite fast. We are so much faster. 2 people. One is doing the job, the other is recording. We can talk to make a good work instructions, and we are done. Like, okay. Well, this was like a kind of a big pivot that we realized, okay, for recording work instruction, you don't need to be hands-free. It would be nice, everybody's asking for it, but it works quite good with the smartphone. And now it's like for playing the work instructions, it's and quite often people are using smartphones or screens or also big screens, and they scan on the QR code with a traditional scanner. But a few are moving to the glasses. Right, it's a few, and now there's let's say there's like the second generation of glasses on the market now. Now the third generation is coming, which is more easy to use, and I expect that more and more people then are going to use it on the glasses.
Yeah, that does sound a little counterintuitive, but it's kind of cool that you basically A/B tested that and they said it's still better. It's still better with the cell phone. Do you think that'll switch in the future, where eventually the majority of are using the glasses and the cell phones start to sort of comes out of the picture?
I think so. Yeah. I think it will be like a 50-50 stuff. That some people want to use glasses, and in particular when the connection to the content is quite easy. If you need to log in, it doesn't work. But now they're getting smoother. They're getting also in the company networks. You need to know you cannot simply put a device in a company network. It takes companies half a year, and they are fast to bring a device into the company network because there need to be some security certification and all that stuff and some standards be implemented. I see this is coming, and companies, the glasses maker, are getting better here. So this processes will be faster. This will help with adoption, basically.
Yeah, and then I guess it'll start to sort itself out depending on what they need to do with it, and if they need their hands free, and it'll start to have guidelines kind of associated with it when you want a cell phone or when you want the glasses. Let's step back just a little bit now, and I want to talk a little bit about Germany. So you mentioned that there's this like axis of Austria and Germany that is very strong in augmented reality development, that sort of thing. Is this still the case, or is it really starting to spread around the world now, and others are, they're seeing a big business opportunity in it, so there's more?
It's like now it was spreading all over the world, basically. There are still a lot of good people in these areas, really good people. Even some of the big companies are having their headquarters for augmented reality in Germany and Austria, because the good people are there. But also, if you look at the Silicon Valley now, there are really a lot of good people to Japan, but also a lot of people moving from those areas here over there. But now there's a lot of knowledge about it and good people around.
Okay, so stepping back a little bit and looking at Germany as a whole and AR development, do you feel that the German startup ecosystem is doing enough to help the development of AR, and what might they do to encourage it a little bit more?
That's a good question. So, first of all, Germany is putting a lot into the IT companies. It could put more. I feel it's rather the German society which is quite slow with digitalization. You have seen this during Corona. The adoption rate is quite low. German is Faxland. So for those of you who don't know, there's a machine where you can put a piece of paper, it's getting scanned in and sent to someone else, so print it out there.
No.
A lot of German companies are still using it. If you're looking to China, there's everything is digital. And the adoption rate is quite high, and that's why they are moving so fast now. In Germany, most of the things are on paper. Also, US is quite a lot of paper. The adoption rate for digitalization is higher. It's probably rather, I feel like even the German government, the new one who was there now promised to make a lot of processes digital in the government. They simply did fail with it. Countries like Eastland are saying like, hey, how can such a big economy like Germany afford not being fully digital?
So this could be a real handicap moving forward then.
Definitely, yeah. Because we are so inefficient if you're not digital. It's so inefficient. You can save so much money and so much time and effort being digital. So for we met some companies, for them it's a no-brainer what we are doing. But for German companies, like, do we need to have digital work instructions? Yeah. Oh no, we don't need this. We are good with paper. We're doing an evaluation now on how we want to optimize things. And okay, how long do you need? 3 months, 6 months? Yeah, we're thinking about 2025. Yeah, and you see those adoption rates.
Yeah, just do it in your own time, whenever you're ready.
And there's some stuff which gives you so easily such a leap in performance. And if you see that others are doing it, and if you're not doing it, you're basically lost.
Yes, not the first time I've had this conversation with people, particularly in the startup world, that are frustrated with the lack of digital adoption.
I mean, for us it's easy. Are we having? We can do jobs in Germany. We do nice jobs in Germany. We're having nice clients. We feel Switzerland is faster in adopting than Germany is. It really is. Yeah. But we're having a huge client base in the US, for example, because they are so much faster in adopting things. Yeah, for us it's not a problem. Yeah, we are selling our stuff. I rather fearing about European economy, which is like saying, we don't need to be so digital.
Yeah, I feel like it's like being in a boat, and your boat can be fast, but if you've got a wave pushing you and you've got a wind behind you, you can go even faster, and that would be nice. Yeah. Good. So we're going to leave that there, and we're going to get to our last part, which is our game, win, lose, or draw. Björn, are you ready to play?
Sure. I'm ready.
All right. So our first one, win, lose, or draw. AR being used by normal people every day?
Loose. Why? I'm since 20 years in the topic, right?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing like having a smartphone is nice and you can do stuff, but then quite often you put it in your bag. I'm not seeing people walking around in the city every day and reading and getting entertained while walking. There are even studies about that we are not able to do two things at the same time. We cannot walk and reading information. We're getting slower with it. There will be some freaks, yes, but it's not. A smartphone is quite a good device. You touch it, easily use. In the office, different story. If you, for example, need to make meetings, it's so much nicer putting your glasses on, having avatars, and being in front together of a virtual whiteboard, pointing your finger somewhere. It's a huge benefit. Probably we'll see this in private life for FaceTime family calls. Yeah, that's the case. That's a big case. But it's not like it's not really going to replace your smartphone.
Yep. Okay. I get that. All right, then. Number 2. We talked about this, but I'm going to pin you to a time frame on this. Win, lose, or draw, AR-ready glasses becoming a consumer good again within the next 5 to 10 years.
Win, a consumer good? Yeah, but not daily.
Oh, okay. Good. Then our last one. So one thing we need to get out there for the audience so they understand, you are a founding member of Open AR Cloud, which is working on standardizing the technology. So win, lose, or draw, AR becoming standardized the way Wi-Fi is, where you can go pretty much anywhere in the world and use your device on Wi-Fi with AR.
Win. Yeah, win.
And your reasoning behind, why is it a win?
Needs to for the adoption.
And you think this is going to happen? So it's not just a need, but this is the direction we're heading?
It's like this VHS, CDs, something. You want to, there's a media, you want to consume it, and you need to be able to share it with other people. You cannot only make it accessible to one group. There will be standards for the exchange. It's a business case.
Where there's a business case, then usually the technology will follow.
Exactly.
Good. So that was win, lose, or draw. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Björn, thank you so much for coming on. This was very enlightening, and I'm super excited about AR technology, although I may not be using it in the next 2 years, let's say, to play my favorite game on Google Glass.
Not your favorite game on Google Glass, but yeah, there's already some nice stuff you can play on glasses. My kids love it. I even brought a big aquarium on glasses to the child daycare, and all the children were liking it.
Yeah, that sounds like something my kids would love too. But that's going to do it for today's episode. Björn, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Timo.
And if you want to catch Björn, you can find him on LinkedIn or at ar-experts.de. If you want more from us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll see you again next week.